This is probably going to be one of the most real videos and recordings I've ever done. This is a sort of me trying to make the courage to say some things out loud, to put them out for everybody to see and to hear. And these things, they require everything from me right now to put out, and you'll soon understand why. I've been, for the last 2 hours, gathering walnuts while at the same time talking out loud to myself. Realizing the deception, how much I've let people down, people that perhaps trusted me, how much I've betrayed them. I've been betraying people. I think I've been betraying them all my life, since I was a child. I've been betraying, for sure, their expectations, for sure. It's no wonder, probably, why I always was pretty lonely and had just few friends, and recently almost nobody. I think it's time for me to realize that and accept that I might be indeed the devil. I might be indeed a monster. Or at least there is this monster or this devil in me. So this message, what I feel to say in it, it's like don't trust me. Don't wait, I want to be truthful here. Wait, I want to make sure I'm saying things exactly how they are, because I risk being a bit emotional. I've observed myself how I've constantly betrayed people's expectations, especially the human expectations of people. I'll give you an example. I was very little, maybe 6-7 years old. It's very hard for me to say this. There was something happening in my family. One member of my family, I've seen that member of my family which is very dear to me. Doing a certain thing, which was pretty much benign in my eyes. I refrained from saying the exact situation, but this person was doing a certain thing, and then there are other members in my family which find that thing condemnable. And there was a moment in which we were all of us in a room, this member of my family which is dear to me, but which I've seen that this member of my family has been doing a certain thing which the other members of my family considered to be bad. And the other members of my family have asked me, did this person, have you ever seen this person doing that thing? And I said yes, man. Although I knew what would happen, I said yes. I said yes, although I knew that that's gonna be hard for this person. But see, I just couldn't lie. I couldn't lie. They asked me, and I had to say the truth. But see, in that moment, I also betrayed that person, and it was really hard for this person. It was hard for years after, maybe even 7-10 years after. So this is what has been happening, and I've constantly saw myself doing this exact same action my entire life in different scenarios. It's like I've been constantly betraying people in this way. Not with something false, but with something true, but still it was betraying them. It was putting them in a hard situation. And of course, this is how people abandon me. And you know what? At this moment in my life, it's the first time, right now, these days, today, I think it's October 8th of 2024. This is the first moment in which I think, you know what, I think it's alright. I think it's alright that these people went away. It's better in a way. Because if they stay around me, this is what's gonna continue to happen. I'm gonna do something which betrays their human expectations, and it's gonna harm them. I'm gonna harm them in a way or another. They're gonna get hurt. I'm gonna harm them. I'm gonna betray them, and I'm gonna hurt them in a way or another. So I was thinking, maybe I don't even deserve to talk with people that are really pure in their hearts. I think there might be people here which are really innocent in their hearts. They shouldn't interact with me, man. Or wait, I think this was an emotional statement which was not fully correct. I think I'm just afraid that I'll hurt anybody. And it's just like, how much of a monster can I continue to be? I've already disappointed so many people. I've already made them feel extremely uncomfortable. I've already pushed them to their extremes. I've already mocked people. I've already... And so, you know what? I'm not nice. I'm not a nice person. I mean, wait a bit. I have to come to the realization and to the acceptance that I'm not a nice person. Not nice in the usual way, at least. I'm not a nice person. I can be really sharp. I can betray people. And apparently, I've always put truth above human relationships, which I don't know how healthy it is anymore. I know that up until today, I've considered it a quality. Like, I've stood for truth with my own life. I stood for truth at all consequences, in spite of all consequences. But this also meant that I sacrificed a lot of people's trust in me. But see, this is why I'm saying, like, I don't know if people should interact with me anymore, because even now that I realize it, I don't know if I am capable of changing. I don't know if I'm capable of... And if I don't know if I'm created to be something different than this. I don't know if, like... Because, for example, it happened to me many times that I would see a certain wrong behavior done by somebody, and I would see it once, twice, 3 times, 10 times, 50 times, and I would say nothing, absolutely nothing. Or I would try to, sometimes I would try to say a bit of things like more coverted, not to, hurt them, but I was afraid to tell them in their face. But then, as I said nothing openly, and then I said nothing openly exactly as I would have meant it, that thing accumulated, and at some point I saw how I completely, like, done a thing which showed them exactly that thing, but in a much more exaggerated way probably than it should have been. They just don't know how to handle it. I know that those behaviors are wrong, but it's just like my own response to those wrong behaviors is also wrong. It's just exaggerated. It's just like I say nothing for so much time, and then when I say it, it just comes out extremely harsh, or like in a mockery type of way. Or this is why I don't think people can actually be friends with me. And I felt today like, although this doesn't feel completely to be so, but I felt like, I don't know if people should even try to be friends with me, because apparently there is this thing in me which immediately notices when something is wrong, and it can't, it's just, it's completely, it's like in my entire being, my entire design is made that I'll never be able to accept it. I'll never be able to accept that wrongness. So if I see a friend or anybody who has a wrong behavior, they will be told at some point, in a way or another, and probably it's gonna hurt them. So I'm gonna hurt them. are gonna hurt them. So if you're trying to be a friend with me, just know that you are gonna get hurt. So I wish I knew, or I wish I might be able to learn at some point how can I tell things, like deal with the wrongness that I see in a way in which I stop creating more hurt in the world. And if maybe I am able to learn at some point a way in which I can tell people about what's wrong, but without harming them, without causing more harm, without causing more wrongness in the world. I don't know how I should have reacted in that situation when I was 6 or 7. They asked me exactly in that moment. I don't know if I should shut up. If I would have shut up and said nothing, then they would have understood that yes, I saw that person doing that thing. So my silence was already an answer. So the other option that I was left with is just freaking lie and say no, I never saw that person doing that thing, which would have been a lie. But see, I would have lied, but I would have protected that peace. And there is this thing, like my sister, which is not that person that I'm talking about, but my sister told me at some point that she expected as a child, she expected me, you know, to I don't know how it's said in English. I'll try to find another way to say it because I don't find my words right now. But she said something like, I expected you to be by the side of me and my, because I have a brother and a sister, and we were always the three of us children. We didn't have many friends, and we were only the three of us, and the family, of course, the grown-ups, which was my mother, my father, my step-grandfather, and my grandmother. We were living all together. And my sister told me, like, I expected you to to be by the same side with me and my brother, like with us children, It's like we would be us, not versus the parents, but something like this, just be by our side, team up with us, be part of the same team with us. But I couldn't be part of their team if something was wrong there. So it's like always, I've been doing this since I was a child. I never kept side with anybody. If somebody, sometimes a parent would be right in a certain situation, I would just, defend that one. But if another day one of the children's, we would be right in a certain situation, then I would defend the children. It's simple. It was what was the truth, But see, again, I betrayed them. I betrayed my children, fellow brother and sister, because I wasn't teaming up with them and being there with them like a team. And I remember telling a friend some years ago that, like, I'm like, what I've been constantly doing, man, is like, I'm like using a metaphor. What I've been doing is like going to the light team and speaking about darkness, and going to the dark team and speaking about light. Like, I've been freaking, see, like, neither sides, neither the light or the dark, neither the bad guys or the good guys. I've never kept sides with anybody. I've annoyed, basically, this is what I'm trying to say, that I've annoyed both the good guys and the bad guys. I've annoyed everybody, I mean. Why do you think I don't have friends? It's like, I will not know you eventually, and I will hurt you eventually. And I really feel like the worst of the worst. And I might just be, you know, I might just be one of the worst kinds. So I cannot make friends. I cannot make alliances with people. The only thing that apparently I care for, and this is a truth that I've been looking at in order to make sure I know what I'm saying. The only thing that I apparently care for and stand by is the soul of the world. So I don't know how to explain this better than this. It might not make much sense for some people, but this is the truth. It just feels like the only thing that I truly care for, the only thing that I truly stand for and stand by, it's the soul of the world. I only care for her. I'm only here for her. I only care for the soul of the world and the truth and her truth. That's all I care for, nothing else. And everything else which stands against her and against this truth, or just appears, maybe. I'm not saying they I don't know. I'm not saying necessarily that they stand against her like in enemies or something, right? But there is definitely a truth, and then there is definitely distortion, and unfortunately, I don't care. I don't care about the distortions, unfortunately. I wish I could say that I care, and I know that that would make me a good human being, and that would make me a... But I don't care. I don't care about the distortions. And this is why probably I was so harsh, you know, with anybody which I've seen that was creating distortions in the world. Any type of lie, any type of distortions, I was really harsh. I didn't care about their feelings if they get hurt. I only cared about the truth. And this makes me kind of psychopathic, I think, also. In a way. And I don't know how healthy this is. I think I'm trying to learn. I mean, I'm trying to open myself up to understand more of the distorted humanity. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I just have to accept it. Maybe this is what I have to learn. Maybe this is what I have to understand. Maybe I have to understand to accept distortions and to have faith that it's gonna work itself out eventually. And maybe I cannot save the soul of the world. Maybe it's not up to me to save her. Maybe I just have to have faith that, I don't know, maybe somehow things are gonna work out. But yeah, this is the truth. Apparently right now in me there is only care, true care for the soul of the world, and thus I care for the soul of everybody. Paradoxically, I care for the soul of everybody because they all inherit a piece of her. I care for their soul, but I don't know, something made me not care for there are two souls, or somehow I don't care about their impure soul so much. I don't care about their mind or their soul, their impure soul, which is connected to their impure mind. I recognize and I admit that there is little to none. I'll be really honest and open. I mean, I'll be open and I'll say that there is apparently right now zero, like zero care towards the distorted mind and the distorted soul. There is zero care. And if, yeah, I think this makes me a psychopath from this perspective, because I really have zero care towards the distorted mind and the distorted soul of humanity. But I care for the true soul of humanity. I care for her, and they all inherit a piece of her, and I care for those pieces. Yeah, I would give my life for all of those, for any of them, because just any of those pieces is just her, in just another form, but it's always her. And yeah, I'm 100% giving my life instantly for her, 100%. So yeah, from a human perspective, I might be psychopathic. From this distorted, in my eyes, it appears like a distorted human world. And for this world, yeah, I might just be a psychopath. If I have to learn how to accept this distorted humanity, and maybe this is what I'm gonna start doing, I'm opening myself to whatever has to happen from my side. Let life use me the way life truly needs. But I just wanted to just liberate myself and take off of my chest this thing, because I saw myself how I try to make friends and be nice at the human level with them, but then all of a sudden when I would see distortions, it's just like a knee-jerk reaction. It's just like I can't control it. It just, when distortions start to appear, it's just like I'm gonna be harsh. I don't have it. I don't know how to react in a nice way to distortions. I feel afraid that if I start to be gentle and I start to babysit people through their distortions, it's just gonna take forever. And it's like, I don't feel we have time, but that might also be paranoia. I'm not sure. So it just feels so what's the word? It's a word here, but I cannot find it. It's a word with tiresome, but not that one. Oh, there is a word. When you do things like really, really in small steps, so small, so gradual. I don't know, there is a word for that. But I feel afraid that, if I see a distortion and then I start to babysit people and take them gently and carefully and nicely and show them the distortion, so that they might see it, and just take the gentle approach and caring approach with them. I know I won't hurt them this way, and I won't hurt myself hurting them either, but it just like feels like, oh wow, but where are we going to go in this rhythm? It's just going so slow. So my way was the highway, it was the fast way. It was doing a lot of it was having pain and hurt as a side effect, but it was also much more fast. I was always feeling their hurt, and I was always like, when they would get hurt, I would get hurt. So I lived all that pain with them. I wasn't accepted from it, but still I went the highway. I went my way, or like, yeah, I took that path of the highway. I didn't took the slow way, the gentle way. And even now, when I say it, it just feels like, oh, the gentle way. God, how can I freaking even trust that this is gonna work? I'm gonna work and walk so slowly. But you know what? It's just like, let life do whatever life needs with me. And if this is the path that I have to walk from now on, and I have to learn how to, you know, babysit the world around me, I'll babysit the world around me. Maybe it was also pride there, you know, like, oh no, I won't lower myself to their, you know, level and try to babysit them like I would be a child like them, you know. Maybe it was a pride there. Maybe it was me feeling superior and not wanting to see myself just like everybody else. So this is my confession today, an open confession. That there is a quote, you know, that came to my mind today while I was gathering these walnuts and I was thinking about all of this stuff that I kind of put here in this recording. I saw this movie once. It is called The Embrace of the Serpent. It's a really special movie, and there is a quote from this movie that came to my mind today, and the quote goes like this. It's like, it's a man telling to another one, it's like, I'm the worst of both worlds. This is how I think I am the worst of the both worlds somehow.